official with the glasses on.
I know.
Hi, my name is Mary Jo Olson, and this is my Scholarly Person Synthesis presentation. The person I chose to introduce as my everyday hero is my father. My father, Sam Birchie, was born in 1922 and raised on a farm in southwestern Minnesota. When he graduated from high school, he started college at Mankato Teachers College. That time it was the Teachers College, now it's Mankato State University. He drove bus for the athletic department to help pay for his room and board and tuition. And in 1942, he enlisted in the Navy, and he spent 3 years in the Navy as a pilot. And then he came back and resumed school in 1945. The GI Bill then helped pay for his education, but he still went back to work driving bus for the athletic department for extra money. He said he learned a lot during his time in the military about his country and the world. He met a lot of young men and did a lot of traveling, and he learned how to get along with everyone. He graduated from college in 1947 with a major in math and a minor in industrial arts. And he started teaching at Walnut Grove, Minnesota. It's my hometown. He had really admired his industrial arts teacher when he was in college, and he said that that was the man who taught him how to be a teacher, and not just teaching academically. And I think what he meant by that was that a teacher can guide his students in other ways besides just teaching them the subject. He can also teach them things like punctuality and a sense of workmanship. In the book, Why School?, the author, Mike Rose, says, "A good education helps us make sense of the world and find our way in it. Our education can be as formal as a lesson or as informal as a lesson learned." This quote reminded me so much of my dad because he was good at not only teaching the subject matter, but he set an example for his students and for others with his principles and values. In 1951, my grandfather bought a farm near Walnut Grove, and he asked my dad if he would quit teaching and go to work on the farm. So my dad, knowing that he didn't know that much about farming, he was raised on a farm, he went back to school, he enrolled in ag classes, and he plunged into life as a farmer. And he really did miss teaching, but he was a substitute teacher, and he was on the school board also for many years. In the next couple of years, there were a number of young men who had graduated from high school and gone on to college that would come back to the farm and talk to my dad and thank him for what he had taught them and the part that he played in their decision to go to college. So this was really evidence of the impact that he had on the lives of his students, and he was also a wonderful role model for his family and friends. Personally, I remember sitting at the dining room table doing my homework with my dad sitting there next to me, just if I needed help. He was always patient, and he had a really good way of explaining things in simple terms. He farmed until his death in 1991. He was a good businessman, he was very active in the community, in his church, and he was very principled. He placed great value on honesty, and I think he passed that on to each of his 6 children. The piece of advice I remember hearing most from my dad was, do the right thing. You know what's right, do the right thing. So, looking at myself then as a scholarly person, I would define myself as a non-traditional student who is going back to school in retirement in order to finish something I started. I have 2 full years of classes left in order to graduate, and although the degree isn't really my goal, that would be for me the certificate of completion. So, and also along the way, I hope that I can expand my horizons by taking a lot of classes in different areas. There's a quote in the book, "Luck is no accident," by John Crumbolts and Al Levin, which pretty much sums up how I look at myself as a student. It says, "It is sometimes said that education is wasted on the young, an idea that grows from awareness that older people can really appreciate educational opportunities. Mature adults don't have to worry about getting good grades. They just go to learn. And I do feel that at this point in my life, I'm really in school just to learn, but I'm also a perfectionist, so the grades are kind of important to me too. My current goal is to take 2 classes per semester, hopefully as many classes as I can get online, and to complete the requirements to graduate in the next 4 or 5 years. I'm fortunate I'm not on a particular schedule, so if I need to readjust those goals along the way, I can do that. In my capacity as a student, I see several developmental tasks which I will need to incorporate in my life in order to get this job done. I will need to be able to multitask in order to give the attention to both schoolwork and to my family and friends. I don't want my relationships to suffer because of the time I spend on schoolwork and vice versa. I will also need to be able to use skills in organization and attention to detail in order to help me manage my time so I can stay on top of the assignments I have and also be available for my family. Unlike a traditional student, I'm not working toward a particular career. I retired from my career with the Postal Service 2 years ago, which has allowed me to go back to school now. So my self-reflection came in the form of examining whether I could accomplish my goal of graduating from college and still have the time and energy to enjoy retirement with my husband. I also need to be prepared to accept criticism from those who would say that I'm wasting my time and money. In terms of multicultural awareness, I don't feel that I have any particular challenges. At this point in my life, I've encountered many people of different race, religion, culture, beliefs, through travel, through my work, and through living in a different part of this country. My husband and I enjoy traveling, and we hope to do more traveling in retirement, and we're always open to new experiences. So the one challenge that I might face would be in the area of language. When you travel, it's always nice to be able to speak the local language, and I just have a little bit of Spanish, but that's all. So that could be a challenge. Again, excuse me, unlike a traditional student who hopes to graduate from college, find a job in his field, and have a long and financially productive career, the end result of my college education will probably not affect my future financially or professionally. But I do hope that finishing my education in retirement will be an example to my family and friends that I'm determined and committed to finishing what I started. Also, I hope that the knowledge I gain by taking classes and interacting with other students will help me remain a vital, interesting, and current person in retirement.